there, and happy Wednesday. I am Anne LaFollette, and you are here for my weekly Wednesday chat that happens every Wednesday at noon Pacific time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern, every single Wednesday, come rain or shine, unless I'm on an airplane. And we talk about art, creativity, and service design, and I am excited to be here with you today. And part of what's incredibly exciting about today specifically is that enrollment is open for my Pattern Design Academy online course and coaching program. And I am super excited to tell you about it. I'm actually not going to tell you about it. I'm going to bring on 3 students who are alumni who are going to tell you all about it, because I think that you don't need to hear about it from me. You should hear about it from students who've taken it and who thought it was an amazing experience, so that if you would like to enroll, you can hear from them. And enrollment is open through tomorrow night, until tomorrow night. So I'm broadcasting this on July 26th in case you're watching the replay. So enrollment will be open until tomorrow night at midnight, which is Thursday, July 27th. So let me say hi to some of my pals who are here. Anne Marie's here, and Kathy is here, and of course Pauline is here. And if you are an alumni, or if you're multitasking, come back to me, because if you're an alum, I sent you a special email. I sent you a special email about this, and so if you didn't see it and you're still on my email list, this is for Academy alum, make sure you check your email, and make sure that you also always check your spam folder. If you have a Gmail address, the other folder to check is the promotions folder, because often emails that you actually want are hiding in there. But in any event, any alum who want to retake the program got a special invitation from me yesterday. So check that out if you're interested in getting a refresher. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I am going to run this incredible set of interviews that I did with 3 incredible students who took the Academy program, because they're going to tell you all about it. And it's only about 15 minutes long. And that's going to be perfect, because I don't usually talk for more than 20 minutes. So here we go. You ready? Give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, and here we go. Grateful that you are all here today. So we're going to do today is we're going to do a little round robin, and we're going to have an opportunity for you to learn about each one of these amazing women. So that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll talk about the bonuses. So Mindy, why don't you start and tell us about your creative journey?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I started out as a hand weaver way, way back years ago, hand weaving and spinning. So I was into fabric designs. And then I changed my career and became a natural science illustrator. So I've always been an artist, and I've made different leaps. And I currently teach natural science illustration at the University of Florida. And I do my own kind of work, and I kind of am still thinking about pattern design. So it's been a round robin, journey for me.
Yeah. And so before I go over to Tosh, also talk just a little bit about your experience with the New York Botanical Gardens.
Okay, yeah. After when I decided to change my career, I went back to school and I got a certificate in botanical illustration. And then I became a teacher there. And then I developed the natural science track, which was a 250-hour course. It was a certificate program in natural science illustration, and so it kind of coupled along with the botanical. And I've always been interested in the symbiotic relationship of nature. So my branding is drawing the beauty of nature, and so I've
Yes.
been there for a long time, and then I moved to Florida. So I've been teaching online ever since, and I've been here for 11 years now.
I know, and I'm super excited to talk about your beautiful bonus. It's called Drawing the Beauty of Nature, which we'll come back to in just a second. So, Tosh, tell us your creative story.
Well, I think it's a common thread with all of us that we've been creative or have had creative interests throughout our lives. But I'd say probably the last 10 years, I've been working at selling my art, and I really love interacting with the public. So it's been fun developing products and ideas to go to local markets or to sell wholesale. And so that's been my journey, is like paper, cards and prints, and then expanding that. And I live in Alaska, We have an incredible natural surrounding, and it inspires me every day. So lots of color, whether it's pen and watercolor or collage.
And one of the things that's really, really fabulous about having you here today, Tosh, is that a lot of people come into or start exploring surface design because they've always dreamed of putting their designs on fabric. But there's also the world of paper and stationery
Absolutely.
and greeting cards. And so you represent that so beautifully in terms of both the work that you've done in the past and the work that you're doing now, and how you've been able to expand that into the service design arena, which we'll come back to in a second. But I love that you're kind of here representing paper.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then Jamie, tell us about your creative journey.
I've always been a creative person, so I went to college for graphic design. Didn't know what surface pattern design was in the beginning, but I ended up doing it as a job at Claire's Accessories Corporation, trend research, product development, designing prints and patterns. Then I've been a creative director, and now I'm at Walgreens Corporation, again, working on graphic design and then occasionally doing a little bit of surface pattern design. So in my free time, I love to draw for sure, study surface pattern design, and hopefully move towards that direction.
Yes, and so each one of you has a lot on your plate. And so something that comes up all the time when people are considering joining my Pattern Design Academy program is, oh my gosh, how am I going to carve out the time to do it? So I'm going to ask each one of you to kind of answer that question. So Mindy, you obviously have a lot going on, right? You teach full time. How did you find time to go through the academy last year?
I still am going through the
Yep.
academy. And that's one of the things that I found was very appealing to me when joining was that it was sort of self-paced. I mean, yes, there's a progression, but it wasn't that, oh my gosh, if I don't get it done right away, I'm going to lose the information. And so for me, it's been sporadic because I start and stop and start and stop, but I actually really appreciate that because I am super busy. And I love the fact that what was really I was drawn to was the way that you teach. Being a teacher myself, I really totally feel that it's important to go step by step and to take baby steps for success. And I have to say that I was one of those people that hated Illustrator. I was just like, it's like the evil program. I've been working in Photoshop for years. And so when Vector comes up, it's kind of like, Vector, kind of like a horrible, horrible thing. And so I found that it was really very appealing to me that you were teaching very similarly to the way that I teach, breaking things down into manageable chunks. And that was worth the dollars to Doodles. I mean, that was like where I got hooked because I didn't even really know that I ever wanted to touch Illustrator because I thought it was such an evil program. So, for me, it's the fact that it's there and I can keep going back to it has been really super beneficial for me as I slowly creep along in adding it to my repertoire of studies.
Yeah, so that's great. And listen, everyone goes through the program at a different pace. And actually being able to embrace the fact that this is a long-term journey is very important. And you have access to the program that you purchase forever. And so it's there for you to go through at your own pace and to refer back to as often as you need. So that's a great way to talk about it. I really appreciate that so that people don't have this level of anxiety that's like, oh my God, I'm going to be behind. I'm going to be behind, or I won't be able to keep up. So Tosh, how about you? How did you manage? Because you have jobs, you have lots going on up there in terms of what's happening in Kodiak Island. So talk a little bit about how you managed your time.
Well, Kodiak and Alaska in general is fairly seasonal, so I have big highs and big lows of when I have time. And so, like Mindy, that was appealing too, knowing that I could jump on and work on it when I had time or take a break and come back to it. And for me, it was the tech end of things as well. And I loved the repetition, the breaking down of steps and the repetition of a technology that was new and scary. I had some experience with Photoshop, but not much. Like all of it was new for me. So I really did appreciate the steps. And I wanted to know how to get from one little design I had to something in a pattern. That was fascinating to me, and I didn't know how to go about doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that discovery process is so much fun, right? It's so incredibly fun. And so, Jamie, when you think about creating a pattern, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. And you are offering this amazing bonus on color and color palettes. But talk a little bit about your workflow as both a graphic designer and someone who is continuing to lean into surface design. How do you get motivated and how do you carve out the time? Because you have a young daughter. What does that, and you've got a full-time job. So what does that look like for you?
In regards to productivity, I always have to write stuff down. So as long as it's on my list, I say 10, 15 minutes a day towards that practice, and then it moves you forward. Like Mindy said, small steps will get you to the bigger results. So that's something I love about the way you teach. You break it down, you simplify everything. There's an amazing community. I've met wonderful people, wonderful artists and designers. And I would have to say the community alone is inspiration, a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because you are all in it. And so you're amazing. And you just create this amazing tapestry of both knowledge and support and engagement and curiosity. And it's just amazing. I cannot even tell you how much joy I have in my life because I wake up in the morning and I know I'm going to be able to hook up with you guys and talk to you and support you and keep you moving forward. And you inspire me. All of you inspire me every single day. And for those of you on the fence, the enrollment link is in the description for today's video. But you also got an email from me this morning. It's members.artwithann.com/enroll. And I hope you'll join us. If it's right for you, you know it is. And if the time is right for you, you also know it is. And so I hope you'll join us. So, Mindy, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about one of the things that happens quite a bit for people who are both considering coming into the academy or who are in it. They have a lot of anxiety around their drawing skills. And you teach drawing, and your beautiful bonus is about learning how to draw. And so, as a teacher yourself, talk just a little bit about how do you help people get over that fear of, I can't draw?
Okay, well, that's really a good question because I get it all the time. People always think that, oh, I'm not talented, I can't draw, I could never do this. Oh, you're so talented, blah blah blah. And it really, my training, I have lots of different trainings, but one of the training that I got was from Betty Edwards from Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, which came out in the 70s. It's a fantastic book, and I had the opportunity to be able to study directly under Betty and get certified by her. And I give her a lot of credit because even though she's not in the natural science world like I am, she basically made it world renowned that drawing is a skill that can be learned. It's not about having talent. It's just like learning to read. You learn, the alphabet, then you learn to make words, then the words become sentences, sentences become paragraphs, and then, before you know it, you're literal. You're able to read and to write. Does that make you Shakespeare? Maybe not, but it gives you at least the skills. And so what happens is that many times drawing is not taught. It's not taught. You're sort of expected to. It's not part of the curriculum within a school. And so when it's broken down in a step-by-step manner, it's the same process of learning step by step by step how to see and how to record what you're seeing on from a three-dimensional view onto a two-dimensional piece of paper. And so, for me, I teach thousands of people who are fearful drawers. They're afraid, like, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it. And I love teaching them because all of a sudden a world opens up to them and they're able to draw. And it's really very rewarding. And I just want everyone to know that if you have a strong desire and you have dedication, that you absolutely can learn to draw. It's a myth that it's just, like some kind of sprinkling of fairy dust and somehow you got missed.
Tosh, your bonus is called From Originals to Retail Fun.
So I wanted to move away from teaching a technique and sort of jump into how to get your beautiful work onto different products. So it's going to be a step by step how to get your art merchandised and how to figure out which products are appropriate, getting over that fear of thinking your art won't work on something or your art isn't good enough for something. I started slow. I started out really slowly in what my art was on, and I had a small audience, and it took me a while to take the leap, right? To believe that I could put my art on different products and reach different people.
Yeah, and I think that you're such a great example also of, you can live in a really, really small community and primarily sell to people in that community or visitors to that community and create a viable business. So to just talk a little bit more about Kodiak Island and how, what are the seasons up there? And you have a retail, presence. You also have an online presence. Talk a little bit more about how your business has evolved.
Sure. I started out literally with a table, at the high school for a little community market. Kodiak Island's about an hour by jet from Anchorage, Alaska. So everything gets shipped in either on airplanes or on boats. Things are expensive, things are limited. So it was natural for me to have to learn how to go online and build a website and build a web shop, but baby steps, right? It did not happen overnight. And then seasonally, Alaska is heavily seasonal. So we've got tourism, we've got fishing. In Kodiak, we have Coast Guard community. So people move on the island and they transfer off the island. So there's always sort of a swirl of people coming through. And when we had live events, that was certainly a really fun element that we always had different people coming through and they were excited to find something Kodiak specific. So you'll find that my art, some of it is Kodiak specific and some of it is marine themed or nature themed because people associate that with the island.
Yeah, and that is part of your incredible sort of inspiration, where your inspiration comes from, right? Is the colors and the beauty and the nature around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of the things that's super important about the academy program and also the coaching component of the program that you're joining is that it's going to be absolutely perfect for you to really start to dive into how do I sell the things I'm creating, and what are all the different ways that I can do that, and how can I also use existing art that I already have and merchandise that effectively. So I'm very, very excited about the synergy that exists there as well in your bonus, Tosh. And so thank you so much for offering it to us this year. So let's move on to Jamie and talk about color and color palettes. So your fabulous bonus is called Color with Coolers, which is an incredible app. And so, without giving too much away, let's talk more about your love of color and how you have evolved your ability to find and create amazing color palettes.
My color journey was more of a learning and researching and studying it out of frustration to understand it more. And I wanted to simplify it as much as I could so that you could easily apply it to your pattern designs. And I know a lot of merchants ask for multiple colorways. So to have that confidence behind color, I think is an important tool to have. So when I would talk to my mom, who was an artist, she said, there's a painter that used three colors. And so that was the starting point to develop like a system using only three colors, create like a variety of palettes from it, and then apply it to your pattern design, especially when you're doing a collection. So Colors for Coolers, or Coolers, is a fun app that I discovered. It's a free program that you can generate a variety of color palettes. There's a lot of ways you can use the app, which I explain in the bonus course. But yeah, it's something fun.
This is what is so amazing about this community, is that you are all so different, and what you love to do is really different, and the way you approach building your businesses is really different. And Jamie, you have this really amazing sort of combination of right brain, left brain. And part of what I've been discovering as I've been spending more time with you and on your website is you you actually love to use a lot of visual aids to help people kind of break down color and color palettes.
Just created worksheets to make it easy to, like I said, I love to simplify things as much as possible, especially when you only have 15 minutes a day. You want something like set, you want a worksheet, you want a step by step, similar to you, and you really break everything down, have the note section, you cover all ways to learn things. Um, so yeah, it just came from making it as easy as possible for people.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And so there are worksheets inside your bonus that people are going to be able to fill out as they go through the bonus. And so I'm incredibly excited about that as well. And color, listen, color is something that can be very intimidating. And one of the things that Academy students will learn, among and many other things, is how to pick colors from a photograph so that you can go outside into your garden, or you can go to a garden and you can take beautiful pictures of flowers, or maybe you have a bouquet at home and you can take a picture of it. And then I show you how to use what's called the eyedropper tool to select colors, because nature is kind of amazing in terms of how it juxtaposes color or puts colors together that work really beautifully and naturally together. So there's a lot in the Academy program about color, and I'm incredibly excited for you, Jamie, to have added this wonderful bonus about another way to come up with color palettes that's simplified, that's easy to understand, and that will get you started so that we can help everybody with that kind of color overwhelm that has a tendency to happen. So thank you so much. I'm super excited about it. So listen, as we sort of do one more round robin, I would just like to ask each one of you about what you are really most passionate about right now. What are you working on yourself? What are you most excited about? Because I'd love to hear what that is. And Mindy, let's go to you first.
I'm still sort of still exploring a lot of different things. I'm a printmaker besides the fact that I do fine art and I do all different kinds of things. And so I think that I'm really interested in some pattern repeat things that I've been doing linoleum cuts just recently, like very recently. And I'm always thinking about how they would be able to be reproduced on paper. I think that I still want to marry the hands-on with the computer. I'm not completely comfortable with just creating works within the computer. So I feel like a lot of the work that I do, I scan in, so I find that block printing or linoleum printing, or I do solar etching, all of that I think is sort of a culmination of different things. And I'm starting to create products from them, like Tasha's doing with, greeting cards. And also I'm thinking about doing some pattern repeats for paper and fabrics and all of that. So I'm still just exploring and having a ton of fun because it's like the more I learn, the more scattered I become. Just,
But what are you kind of most excited about yourself as you move through the balance of the year?
Well, I'm interested in continuing to develop different products for my own business. So just developing this course made me realize like how far I've come. Sometimes we don't notice our progress, right? We think, oh, I made a card. Oh, I made a print. And suddenly I'm looking around at my studio thinking, wow, like I have a bunch of different products here. And I think it'll be fun for people to see they can choose the things that make them happy. So I have a confession, like in this group of surface pattern designers, like fabric freaks me out, right? So if I think about wrapping paper, I can design it and I can get the scale right and everything works. The minute I try to do fabric, I freeze. So I think we all have things we like to do, and why not pursue the products that make you happy and excited about your art?
Yes. And so do you have some things you want to show us also? I'm going to make sure everybody has a chance to do that, but while I'm on you, do you have some things you wanted to show us?
Yeah, so let me show you my new stationery packs. You tell me if I have it where you need it in the camera. So, other way, there we go.
Perfect.
So usually I do cards, but now I decided I'd do a pack with pages of stationery, envelopes, and stickers. So that's been fun. And it's been
Lovely.
fun to match note cards with a little sticker so that you can seal the envelope with something that matches it.
Oh, nice. I love it. And I love your
So again,
colors. Those colors are
so
so vibrant.
and I think it can be about going and making that next step, right? We can all make a card, but how fun is it to have a sticker that goes with your card? And I've done wrapping paper. I learned how to do a QR code. So I did a QR code on a little poster for a recent a recent market that I went to. This was for my Spoonflower shop. And I was so
Outstanding.
excited to do that QR code. So, baby steps.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's fantastic.
One other thing I'd like to point out about the three of us here, that we are all bringing, like, we're all coming from different directions into your academy. And I think that is going to give people a really nice sort of breadth or width to these bonus courses, is that we've got different things going on. And Jamie and Mindy and I pop up in the same Facebook groups, and pop up in the same communities. And I'm always inspired. I hang up the phone or hang up the Facebook, and I think, wow, like, look at what they're doing, and how can I sort of pull some of those ideas into my own creativity and my own business.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of both synergy, and then it's such an incredibly creative community that new ideas are getting generated all the time. And then you can select from those to say, oh, I'm going to try that. I definitely want to add that to my repertoire. So it's really great. So Jamie, talk a little bit about, I know you've got your hands full. So first of all, what's going on with the remodel? So Jamie's both obviously married, she's got a young daughter, she's got a full-time job, and I think you're still remodeling your house. So how's everything going?
It's going, as you can see, there's no artwork up yet. It's pretty
Right.
bare. That will come in time. That's probably something I need to work on next. But yeah, it's back to that 10 to 15 minutes a day.
10 to
Grab
15
whatever
minutes a
time you
day.
can. Yeah. Bring, do what makes you have what you enjoy doing to
Yep.
add more joy,
Yep, and I
which
know
for
that
me is drawing.
yesterday, one of the alumni also mentioned the fact that I think it was Shalini mentioned the fact that she tries to set aside 15 or 20 minutes a day. And that actually freaked a couple people out about, well, I can't do it every day. And so I just want to reassure everyone that you will find your rhythm. And what's great about the Academy program is that we will be in the first couple of weeks, we're doing what I love to call storming and norming, which is that we're getting used to the flow, we're getting used to where everything is, we're meeting each other, we're getting used to the rhythm of the twice a week Q&As, and you will discover what works best for you in terms of when you want to set aside time. It does not have to be something that's every day. If a little bit every day works for you, that's great, but if it doesn't, you're going to find your rhythm, and your rhythm might be a couple days a week early in the morning, or it might be just on the weekend, or you will discover what it actually is. And at the end of every module, I have a mindset video where I tell you and reassure you that you are on the right path. And leaning into how you learn best is really important, because you will retain the information better if you kind of do it your way. You can see it. Wow, that's beautiful. Gorgeous. I'm going to bring
So
Jamie back on, I think, if she
these are
can come back
tropical. They're
on.
tropical owls.
Wow, they're amazing, Mindy.
So, and I just started an online class in drawing birds. So these were a project, and I decided to do a series of them, and I'll be doing them. I want to put them into products. So
Fantastic.
I'm actually looking forward to Tasha's tutorial.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. So listen, I
I
know
mean,
that you guys are all really busy, and so we need to wrap up so that I can let you go. But the last question that I really wanted to do was, and this actually comes from a brilliant community manager, Pauline Riley. So Pauline Riley came into my community in 2019, and she had been told as a young woman that she had no artistic talent by her art teachers, which is such a shame, because it basically shut her down completely from pursuing her creativity. And she is incredibly, incredibly talented and has her own unique approach to art and what she creates. But when she joined the Academy back in 2019, she said, Anne, the reason that I came into the Academy was not because of the stuff. And she reminded me this morning, she said, Anne, don't forget to talk to everybody about the fact this is not just about the stuff. You get incredible content, but you're getting so much more than that, because you're joining this amazing community that's going to support and encourage you, and that you're going to learn from, and who you're going to share your ideas with. And so, Jamie, let's start with you. Talk just a little bit about your philosophy around it's not just all about the stuff.
No, The community to me is huge. If you have any questions, they respond right away. Somebody does. It's extremely supportive. Like I said, I've met amazing teachers and women like Tosh and Mindy. I meet with them out of the group. They're amazing at business. They're amazing at what they do, their craft. Like Tosh said, we all come from different different points, but yet it's extremely inspirational. And you're always so connected. If I have a question, I've never been so connected to a teacher, especially on an online course, and you definitely make yourself available to any questions that the students have. I It's the best community I've been in, honestly, with all the programs that I've taken.
Well, thank you for saying that, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Mindy, how about you?
I have to agree with what Jamie's saying. I mean, I'm not, I tend to be an introverted, solitary type person, especially when I'm doing my artwork. I have places where I could go where I could be, in a group and do art physically with people, not during the pandemic, but before that. And I just don't. I really find that I need the solace and the quiet. But at the same time, I think being a business owner and being an artist, I mean, you realize that now you're a solo entrepreneur, and I think that can be a little overwhelming, or actually a lot overwhelming at times. And so it is really nice to connect with other people, especially on a different level. So like when I'm a teacher, I'm connecting with students, but they're learning from me. Whereas here, I feel like I'm able to be some of my expertise might be different, but there's other people, so it becomes a really nice mix, and I really feel like it's not so lonely. I mean, as much as I enjoy the solace and the quiet of creating on my own, I really felt like I was lacking in not having a connection with other artists, that there was a real separation from that. And it particularly during the pandemic, and then having something online and having these live type things, where we can communicate, has been really very valuable for me, because as I said, like all of a sudden I realized, like, wow, I'm kind of like all by myself here. Maybe I need to get out. Maybe I need to get out of here a little bit and like mingle with other like-minded artists, and it became really inspiring, and it's something that I really do cherish. I do really enjoy that.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Mindy. And it is important for us to not be alone and to not be on this journey alone. And when we were all in the pandemic, I was using the hashtag artists in residence because we were all in residence at home. But it was still amazing that we could connect with one another and continue to do so and build these long-term relationships and friendships that we've developed. And so, Tosh, what would you say?
I would say what I love about this community, art can sometimes be competitive, or people can want to hide things or hide their techniques. And I've found that this community shares everything and we build each other up. So whether you're a beginner or very experienced, people are just supportive, whether it's ideas or recommendations. So that's been huge for me. And I think the other angle of it is that we're not all mini me's, right? We're not all mini Anns running around. It's about finding our own niche, and it's about you helping us strengthen our skills sort of as we go in that track or go in that niche. So that's what I've appreciated, is that you keep telling me, like, execute your plans, like you have these ideas, now go do something with them in your own way. And that's
Yeah.
been big for me.
Thank you so much, Jamie and Mindy and Tosh. I really appreciate you joining me here today. And that's a wrap, everybody. So, aren't they amazing? And they are just three of the incredible Academy alumni who are so incredibly talented, who've been able to add either to their existing creative business or start a brand new business with what they learned in the Pattern Design Academy. So, I'm so glad that you could listen to them and be inspired by them. Enrollment is open until tomorrow night, and the enrollment link is members.artwithann.com members.com/enroll. And when you go to that page, I just want you to know what it's going to look like when you land on that page. You go to members.artwithann.com/enroll, and you'll land on a page that looks like this. It's very pretty. It says the Pattern Design Academy online course and coaching program. Enrollment is open, and all you need to do is scroll down, and you can read more about it. Make sure that it is in fact for you, and you can also read about all of the additional bonuses, what other Academy graduates have to say. There's some really fun short videos here. You just hit the play button to listen to them. And enrollment is open. There are 2 options to pay for it, so you can read all of those details. And if you've got a question, do you see this cute little Got Questions button in the lower right-hand corner? You can click that Got Questions button and send me a direct question if you have any questions about it at all. And take advantage of that cute little play button, because the little play button, this little Got Questions button, will send a message directly to me, and then I'll be able to answer you back with a little video. And this describes the module structure, so you know exactly the flow that we go through together. And then down below, there is an amazing lineup of bonuses. You heard about the 3 that are from Jamie, Tosh, and Mindy, but there are also brand new ones. There's one about artificial intelligence, because that's all the rage right now, and we as creatives need to know how to use ChatGPT in our business, because it's a real game changer. I'm excited about that one. There's also a brand new bonus on how to unlock the right scale, distribution, and spacing in your patterns. And there is my bonus about how to use Adobe Illustrator on your iPad. So these are the 3 bonuses you just heard about. Mindy's Drawing the Beauty of Nature, and Jamie's Color with Coolers, and Tasha's From Originals to Retail Fun. And don't forget, you can click the little Got Questions button if you need to reach out to me with any questions. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'll be back again next Wednesday. Come rain or come shine. Next week, we'll talk more about art, creativity, and surface design. And if you join the Academy program, I'll tell you how everything is going in there. And I always like to say in closing, let me put my little heart over on this side, that I am Ann LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week. And if you are an alumni and you'd like to take the program again, make sure you check your email, because there is a special message for you in your email. Check spam or that promotions folder. I want to make sure you didn't miss it. All right, bye for now.